A lot of people overcomplicate this and then they end up with songs that sound like trash. So what you need to do is, yo Wagwan, hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be revealing the secrets behind song mixing 101. I'm going to be giving you the basics and actually walking you through the process and the thoughts that you need to have in order to mix your song to the best of your ability. I'm going to be basically giving you the mindset you need, plus how you should approach things, where the priorities should be, as well as what's optional, what's definite, you need to do it, and that sort of stuff. Like what's taste, what's subjective, and what's objective. We're going to be revealing all of that in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Jay Carteret from jcarteret.com, teaching you how to be better at music, online business, and online marketing. This is the #1 spot for musicians and creatives that don't want to be starving artists. So if that sounds like you, click on that subscribe button, check out the rest of the content on the channel, because you will love it here, guaranteed. Now, my question of the day is, what do you go to mix first when you're mixing your song? Let me know in the comment section down below. Or what effect do you use first? Because I think obviously you're probably going to mix vocals in it, because you probably already mixed the beat. We'll get into it. So I've already done a video on beat mixing 101. So we're not going to go in depth over how to mix the beat again, because if you watch that, you'll have the beat mixed. And if you haven't watched that and you've gone to this stage where you need to mix your song and you've got the stems for your beat, then go watch that. It'll teach you how to mix it. Yeah, it'll teach you how to mix the beat parts, and then you can come here and learn how to mix the vocal parts and learn how to basically get your song put together. Now, a big misconception people have is that they can basically just do whatever they want in the mix and fix it in the master. No, that's not happening. Yeah, what the master does, what mastering does in a nutshell, is it makes your song louder. Okay, that's a simplified explanation of it, but that's what it does. Now, with mastering, you're basically applying effects to the entire song. But with mixing, you're applying effects to the different tracks, and you're basically going in there and making sure that everything sounds how you want it to sound. Then with mastering, you just apply an overall effect on the entire track and get it to a certain level and have it sounding a little bit more professional, a little bit more spicy. So that was a bit weird, didn't it? I don't know if that sound's gonna come through well on the mic, but that was hilarious. So yeah, let's go through it. So here's my mixer. By the way, if you want to grab my Spotify ready vocal mixing template, links down below. Go to jcarteret.com/vocal templates. That's going to help you out a lot, because basically when I come in to record a song, I've already got all these effects set up. Yeah, everything that I basically need in order to have my vocals sounding Spotify ready already set up. Why is that important? Now, that's very, very important, because if you do not do that, you put yourself in a position where you can maybe record something and it just sounds terrible because you don't have the right effects on it, and you get rid of that take because it sounds terrible, but it could have sounded okay or great with the right effects on it. So it's better to put yourself in a position where you've got at least a template of some effects that you're probably going to use, like auto-tune, EQ, compressors, that sort of stuff. And you have that set up already, so that you have your vocals sounding okay before you get to the mixing stage. Now, with my vocal template, you sound great before you get to the mixing stage. I hardly even go in and do some extra mixing after I've gotten everything done. Like sometimes I think I only really do mixing for like ad-libs and doubles and stuff. Like for my main vocals, I just leave it the same for the template every single time, because it just works out perfectly. So let's kind of go into, let's give you a quick preview of this song. This is my song called Change. It's on Spotify. You can go check it out, Jay Carteret. Change. Let's play a little bit of it, and then we'll start going through the types of approach you want to come with when it comes to mixing your vocals and mixing your song. So let's play a little bit. Okay, all right, song, you understand, we got a song there, the vocals sound pretty smooth. But if I was to turn off all these effects here, it's not gonna sound so smooth. It's gonna sound absolutely disgusting, okay? So keep that in mind. These effects saved me, and this was when I was a way worse singer. I'm a bit of a better singer now. I'm still not the best, but especially even if I just took auto-tune off, it would sound bad enough. But we take it off everything now. Let's play this back. This would be a take that I would have deleted if I didn't have the effects on. So let's play it.
Change. You will never change. Gave you so many chances. Yeah. You just stay the same. Gave you my heart now.
Disgusting. So let's talk about the approach to mixing your vocals, okay? Because vocals are pretty much the most important thing in your song. You want them to sound... If your vocals don't sound good, you've lost. It doesn't matter if the beat's the best beat in the world. If your vocals sound trash, you've lost, okay? So you need to make sure that your vocals are sounding good. So first of all, I'd have auto-tune or some sort of pitch correction plugin. That's obviously optional depending on what kind of songs you make and what kind of artist you are and how good you are at singing, okay? But I would go with auto-tune straight up. Then you want to EQ your vocals, yeah? You want auto-tune first because obviously you want to pitch correct first, because it doesn't make sense. Like, there's no need to have it last. Like, it's something that can go first. Like, it's something that you want to apply throughout the whole vocal. It's going to be a very prominent thing. So pitch correct straight away. Then EQ, because you want to take away the frequencies that don't sound great. So let's actually turn most of this off. Yeah, we still got we won't even turn on the doubles and that sort of stuff. We'll just turn on the equalizer, okay? So we're gonna open this up and really hope that this doesn't crash my system, because that would be really, really annoying. Okay, good. So this is my first EQ, okay? So we cut off the low end, we've got a little bit of a boost in the high, and we've got some taken away around 3,000, we've got some taken away around 600, and we've got some taken away around 400, 300 ranges, and 150 over here. Now these EQ ranges will be different for different vocals. It depends on how your vocal sounds, but this just takes away a few nasty frequencies, okay? So let's play this back.
Change.
Already it's sounding much better than it did before. Before it sounded boxy, it sounded dirty, it just sounded wrong. Like, it just didn't sound nice. Okay, so next we have Nectar, which I'm using this as a de-esser. So you generally want to have a de-esser on your vocals, but this isn't a vocal mixing video, so I'm not going to go into every effect that I use, okay? But just giving you an idea, we've got the auto-tune, then the EQ, then a de-esser, then we got a gate to get rid of anything in the background. If you've got maybe some noise in the background, you might be able to hear noise in the background right now. Like, my computer's it's not a quiet one. It likes to make noise, okay? So if you've got noise in the background, if you've got a light on or something, a gate will get rid of that and have your vocals sounding cleaner. Then I've got a compressor, which the compressor, what that does is it just brings your dynamics into a more compact range. So if I'm performing, as you heard earlier, there was some parts where the vocal take was louder and where it was lower. Really, you don't want that in a song, yeah? Sometimes you might want that. It might be a stylistic choice for certain parts of the song, like when you're belting out a vocal line or something and you want to get higher and you want it to sound more epic, or you're going lower because you want it to sound more intimate. These are things you can do. But in a general basis, you want everything to be level throughout the song, yeah? Especially with vocals. You want your vocals to be level throughout the song. You don't want a bunch of dynamics. You want some dynamics, but not a bunch, okay? So what the compressor does is it's used to basically, if something goes over, it's like, no, come back down. If something and everything that's like below, it's like, okay, come up a little bit, okay? So that's basically what a compressor does. So it brings some audio down, brings some audio up, keeps it around a certain range, and that's what we're doing over there, okay? So these are the main things you want to have on your vocals. You need EQing. You need that. And generally, I would add a de-esser, a gate, and a compressor. Those are the main things. Then after that, you can basically go crazy. After that, we've got more EQs, we've got more compressors, we've got RVox, which is another compressor, then we've got another EQ, then another compressor, then another EQ, then another compressor, then some saturation, then another EQ, okay? So these certain things will just add different tones to your vocals, and it will just have a different character. Now I like everything that's on here, and I just keep this as my basic, okay, because it just sounds great. It sounds amazing. Like, I don't go in there and change it. But if I wanted to, like if I was like, oh, I need a little bit more saturation or something like that, I don't know why I'd ever do that, then I'll just add it at the end or something like that. Okay, actually I do have a new saturation plugin these days, so I might even nah, I won't. Will I? I don't know. I might swap it out, might not. Okay, it's a little bit of hassle to swap it out because I've already got this set up and it's set up pretty well. Okay, so the objective stuff: EQ, gate, DSR, compressor, and maybe another EQ after the compressor. That's what you got, yeah? Then for subjective stuff, for adding a little bit of flavor, you've got extra compressors, extra EQs, and extra saturation as well. Now, the reason why you want extra compressors and extra EQs is because you kind of want them to do different things. You don't want to put all the workload on one compressor or one EQ. And as you add different compressors and different effects, you may then bring in different frequencies that you then need to get rid of. Now, the reason why you want your EQ to be first is because when you compress things, it's going to bring out all the frequencies, okay? So if you don't get rid of the frequencies you don't want, it's going to be very hard to take them away after you compress them. So you want your EQ before your compressors. Then when you put a compressor down, you can EQ that after, okay? So next we've got a doubler, we've got some parallel compression, we've got some delay, some flanger, some more delay, plate reverb, and a long hall reverb basically. But we're not going to get into everything that we use for the vocals, okay, because that will just take forever. I think I'll do a dedicated video where I'll walk you through my vocal mixing chain. But for now, just know the basics is EQing, getting your vocals sounding cleaner, and compression, maybe a de-esser and a gate, okay? Those are the basics for your vocals. Then generally when I'm doing a song, I'll have the chorus doubled on the left and right. So it'll be a left take, right take, then another left take, then another right take. That's down here. So this is the left take, this is the right take, this is another left take, this is the other right take. So these two will basically be with normal audio. So it kind of sound, let's actually solo it. It should just have some auto tune and just some basic EQ. I think I might have, I don't know why it sounded like that. I think that might have some flanger on it actually. It might be flanged a little bit. But then with my other vocals, with this, I'll add vocal synths sometimes. Sometimes I won't. And this adds another sort of, a little bit of character to it. These are optional subjective things, remember? We can bring up the right one as well. So as you can hear, it's like a vocoder type thing. Now, if we bring up the left and the right so you can hear both of those going, this is what it sounds like. And then with like the main vocal as well.
You'll never change. Gave you so many chances. Yeah. So many days. Gave you my heart, now I'm heartless.
Okay, now my approach to mixing these doubles is I want them to sit really in the background, okay? I don't want them to overtake the main vocals at all. I don't even want people to really notice that these are there. I want it to be noticeable, but I don't want people to notice, yeah? If you get what I'm saying, like I want it to be noticeable, like, you know, it's there, you can feel it, but you're not like, what's going on there, okay? So it's there, but it's not there. It's not in your face, but it's there, okay? You get what I'm saying? I hope you do. Then with the ad-libs, we've got that over here. We can just play some.
All of those years gone to waste. You will never change.
And this is kind of, you know, background, but kind of mid-ground as well, because I want it to be kind of on the level, just a little bit lower than the main vocals. I want you to really notice that they're there, but I don't want them to take so much away from the main vocals. I want them to kind of be tucked away in the background a little bit. So that's the approach to like doubles and ad-libs. And then with the beat, you know, you just mix the beat depending on what's going on. If it's already been mixed, you shouldn't have to do much, but you might come in here and be mixing your song and you might feel like certain things need to be louder or certain things need to be lower. Now, the way you find that out is by using reference tracks. I highly suggest you use reference tracks. Now, a reference track is when you basically listen to a professional track that's already out in the world that you enjoy, that's in the same kind of genre that you're creating. For example, for this song, I think I listened to one of Gunna's songs or something like that, because I'm in my rap singing bag right about now and I like, you know, Gunna's stuff. So generally I'll have that track on in the background and I'll just listen to make sure that certain elements are hitting the same way. So is my clap hitting at the same kind of volume that the clap is in the professional track? Is my vocals around the same kind of volume? Is the main melody around the same kind of volume? Is the hi-hat around the same kind of volume? Is the snare the same kind of volume, or the clap? These are the types of things that I'm thinking about when I'm listening to my reference track, okay? And then basically when you're using your reference track, because you're mixing right about now, your track isn't going to be as loud as the reference track. So what I do is I just add a limiter to the master track so that it brings up wow, this is hard to move around. It brings up the volume. So you basically want your track to be the same volume as the reference track so that you can reference it more accurately, okay? Now, iZotope does have a feature with their mastering plugin, iZotope Ozone. They do have a feature where you can use a reference track with that, and you can like import a reference track. But the reason why I don't do that, like I just have Spotify on in the background and I'll listen to that and then come back to my track and then play it back and then listen to the Spotify. It's not the best way to do things, but the reason why I do that is because I don't own any of these tracks. I haven't downloaded them. In order to use the iZotope Ozone version, you'll need to actually have those tracks. And if you do have the tracks and you have downloaded it, what you can do is you can just drag it into your DAW that you're using. So for example, in Studio One, I just drag it all the way. I would just drag it all the way to the bottom like so, and then I just match the volumes with my main, well, the main song basically, and that's how you do that. So reference tracks, very, very important. It's going to help you by basically avoiding common mistakes. So when you're listening to a professional track that is professionally mixed, you're going to be able to be more in line with the industry standard without even doing a bunch of work, like without learning, without studying mixing for like years. You're already going to be within shooting distance of the industry standard because you're just copying something that works. You're getting the levels around the same levels of something that you already enjoy, that's already out in the marketplace and that's already doing well. So it's just an easy shortcut to make your mixes even better. So that's that basically. I think we've got everything. Basically, if you're mixing a song, the main thing you're going to be doing is mixing your vocals. As you can see, I've got fade ins and fade outs and that sort of stuff. That's just to make sure that the vocals, like sometimes after I finish a take, you'll hear me press the space button. So I'm fading stuff like that out. I'm fading out certain times where the start of the line sounds too harsh and I want it to come in a little bit smoother. So, you know, fading in and fading out is very, very simple technique, but I'll do that a lot of the times to just make sure that everything flows a whole lot better, okay? So I feel like I've given you all the information you need. If you want your vocals half mixed before you even get to the mixing stage, go to jcarterray.com/vocal templates. That's the same template that I use to make all my music, and I've got it in FL Studio and Studio One. But that's not all, yeah? That also comes with a PDF that walks you through all the plugins that I use and all the settings. So even if you don't want to use the exact same plugin as I do, even if you don't want to use auto tune, you want to use like Nectar, or you want to use Waves tune or something, you don't want to use RVox, you want to use a different compressor, you can go into the PDF and see what different settings I use and apply that to whatever plugin you want to use instead, or whatever plugin you already have. Okay, so that's that. If you got any questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, please let me know in the comment section down below. And in the next video, you'll learn more about music, online business, and online marketing. I'll see you there. Peace out.